In this lesson, we're going to be talking about doing injection attacks with TamperData. TamperData actually gives us some pretty good capabilities for handling injection attacks. One of the reasons for that is because there's often JavaScript in web pages that does some validation of the data that's being sent. Let me show you an example here. I've got a web page, and let me just show you the code here. We're going to look at the page source, and up at the top, you'll see there's a function that just does some replacement of characters. We're going to replace the less than and greater than with the HTML encoded versions. You can see the less than and greater than. That's going to help protect us against things like cross-site scripting. The first thing I want to do here is actually want to load up TamperData, and I'm going to start my Tamper here. Now I'm going to go back over and I'm going to insert a script. And this is how you would do a cross-site scripting attack. You would just insert a script. And what I'm doing is I'm going to try to see if I can do a cross-site scripting attack here. Actually, didn't want to do a submit. Actually wanted to do a tamper. I'm going to submit that one. And one of the downsides to TamperData or with Firefox particularly is Firefox does a lot of requests underneath. And occasionally, if you've got TamperData on, you'll see this safebrowsing.clients.google.com. Firefox is actually doing some checks underneath the hood for you. Let's do this again. And in this case, we're going to tamper with it. What we've got here is we've got a case where we actually changed the tags here so they got converted for us. What I want to do is actually want to convert these back. And I'm going to get rid of all of these encoded versions. And we're going to replace them back with the real versions. Got to find all of the little bits here and get rid of all of the hex encoding. And then we're going to put that in. And now I can do this. And actually I got rid of that. Going to submit that. And let's just abort this request. And that's all of the version check for the different add-ons. I'm just going to skip through this. Again, this is one of the problems you've got with using Firefox is it does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for you. And if you're using something like TamperData or any sort of proxy, you're going to get a lot of these requests. Actually, I'm going to shut off tampering and I'm just going to do the submit. Actually, that's just going to keep going. So let me go over here. You see what we actually got was we got the JavaScript to actually execute here. And I'm going to bring up the page source. Right here, we got the script inserted into the page, and that's actually what caused it to run, and that's where we got the alert from. But you can see if you've got cases where there's a certain amount of input sanitization going on within JavaScript, you can actually bypass that using TamperData because TamperData gets the data after the JavaScript has already handled it. Anything JavaScript does, you can then undo using TamperData. So it's a pretty useful tool in that regard.